If you like the following content, please leave a tip at buymeacoffee/Whitley. Greeting viewers, welcome to the first episode for 2024. And I thought we would take another deep dive into Virgin Galactic. Now, I do have a soft spot for this company. I admire the technology and I genuinely wish that it had gone into orbit and done much more by now, but clearly it hasn't. So since our last look in August 2022, which is one of the first episodes on this channel, we're going to see how the company's evolved. We're going to explore some of the changes in its financials, the market position, and obviously the technological advancements and how they're getting on. So for those of you not familiar with Virgin Galactic, this was founded by Richard Branson after he brought into Burt Rutten's Spaceship One X Prize entry back in 2006-ish. Due to some unfortunate circumstances, the planes were grounded, but over the past 18 months they have completed 5 successful commercial flights, with the 6th one due to go ahead any day now. As of the end of 2022, Virgin Galactic's financials painted a picture of a company in the throes of growth and investment. The revenue stood at $2.31 million US, which is overshadowed by significant operational losses. The total assets were reported back then to be about $1.14 billion, with a total equity of $480 million. Those numbers reflect the company's heavy investment in technological infrastructure and obviously was essential for its ambitious goals. Now, since then, obviously there have been some changes. The revenue for the company is up to $4.8 million US. Again, there's no dividend and there is a dividend, but the share price has collapsed by about 90%. And that was only 18 months ago. A lot of that was because a lot of the share prices back then were artificially elevated by basically everything that was going on in the tech world, where everything had more value than it really needed to be. It created a lot of problems for a lot of investors. Gross profit for the company is still in the minuses. The net income is still in the minuses. We're talking hundreds of millions here, and they're struggling financially to a certain extent. Whether this will carry on and affect them long term, I don't know. It depends on how they're invested in. Balance sheet looks okay. The total assets are 1.27 billion, and their equity is up a little bit from the 480 18 months ago to just under 600 million. Obviously the liabilities are over that by almost 700 million. It's an interesting company in that respect. Virgin Galactic is publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker SPCE, but it's also a component of the Russell 2000 index, I should say. This indicates a recognition of a potentially high growth, very high risk investment opportunity. So if anybody was to invest in it, take that on advisement. Very high risk investment, but very high potential for profits in the future should things go right. Investors need to consider Virgin Galactic's long-term potential against the backdrop of its current financial status. While the company has made significant strides in technology and market positioning, its financial stability remains a critical factor for any investment decision. So as usual, the SWOT analysis component of this video will always be the strength of the company, the weakness of the company, just to see whether we think the company has any potential one way or another. And then we look at the opportunities of the market. In this case, it will be the space industry, satellites, rockets, variations on the same theme, concentrating around space tourism, and obviously the threats of other companies within that market would have towards this company with regards to technology and politics. So from our research, Virgin Galactic has established itself as a leader in the space tourism industry. It's a very well recognized brand name. It has brand strength and is coupled with groundbreaking technology, and it positions itself as a front runner in a nascent market. Most rocket companies are just that, rocket companies. This is the only one that's trying to do a space liner. It makes it very unique in that respect. The technology behind it is from basically the first prototype companies with I think it was Steve Button. I'll correct myself in the description if I need to. Who basically developed the drop craft, which was Fall Below Spaceship 1 to fly into space, and the idea was it was supposed to just go to the minimal orbit to win the X Prize, and this was back in 2010, about that time, probably earlier. This makes it quite an interesting and unique development. Even the Chinese haven't stolen technology to try and pull this one off, which either means that Virgin Galactic is too advanced for anybody else, or the idea is too crazy for anybody else to try and steal. They also have an airbase in the States, which they Spaceport 1 probably is the name of it, which gives it a USP, a unique selling product should the tourism industry kind of take off. I also think that the technology they have could evolve forward to basically become a unique niche within the suborbital, orbital craft development, travel, communication sector, where people like Concorde need to get places very quickly and are willing to pay through the nose for that, rather than paying for a massive leather chair in first class on a Boeing. And if you've been following news with Boeing recently, that might be a good thing. So the company's financial losses and past operational challenges, including accidents, many delays, underscore the risks that are involved with this company as an investor. These factors are impacting present tense on investor confidence. Just look at the share price. It's down horrifically, 90-95% in some cases from its height. Very few people basically are looking at this company and thinking that it is a great investment, not because of what the company is capable of doing, but because what it hasn't been able to achieve so far. This is the only real weakness with it that I can see. I think if they can get past the operational problems, I think these are operational problems rather than technical, of not having a craft that can go into orbit properly, rather than just kind of going up to the bottom line. If they can get their craft to actually go into orbit and land in another country, be picked up by the similar craft and taken up, I think then the share price will explode tremendously. These are, I believe, in their future plans, but this is basically the weakness of it. It is purely the operational challenges of being able to move from the product they have now to the product they want to do in the future. So this is when we look at the opportunities of the market. The space market is growing tremendously, and I think as we move through the economic cycle, and once we get over this horrific debt burden around the world, and the crisis in political conversations between various companies and organizations heals, then companies like Virgin Galactic will be able to develop more, move more, and create a better future. Now, the last time we were in this cycle was probably 100 years ago, which led to disaster. Hopefully we'll avoid that. And if we do avoid that, then obviously investing in companies like this is a tremendous opportunity for growth. There's a growing global fascination with space travel, which for all markets up there, from travel, exploration, science, the works, it's all up there for us to take. And Virgin Galactic's collaborations with established entities like NASA could open doors for further revenue, far beyond tourism, as I've already mentioned. And the future is theirs. This was always the company wanted to do. They did have Virgin Orbital, which was a sister company which was forced on them by an investor to try and get some short-term growth. But I think Virgin Galactic is the opportunity for them. It is what they should be concentrating on. They have the opportunity for everything from producing space taxis to emergency vehicles to military vehicles, purely off the basis of this unique shuttlecock swept wing design with the short rockets in the back. I think as that's developed, I think that's the core product, that's what they should be concentrating on. I think that's their special unique selling point. Now, just as our orbital sphere is congested with lots of satellites and debris, the space market is increasingly becoming like that. It is very competitive. There's a lot of competitive pressure from companies like SpaceX, Amazon's Blue Origin, along with unpredictable nature of space travel and the constant economic fluctuations of this decade. These are all significant threats to what Virgin Galactic can do and its market position. Now, as I've said, their technology has not been picked up by certain political players out there who have ambitions and are willing to basically just rip off patents from other companies. Whether it's just down to design looking too risky for other countries and companies, or whether it's the technology is too complicated for them to grab hold of. Either way, this gives Virgin Galactic an advantage over them, but it does put them in a position where, should somebody with better finances, stronger resources, and the willingness to basically push the boundary further on technology, that could basically destroy Virgin Galactic permanently. Apart from that, the real threat to the company is its financial situation, and basically just investors, big, medium, small, from basically just abandoning the company completely, as well as Richard Branson himself and his team. If they were just to give up on it, then we would see the end of the company, obviously, and the technology that goes with it would just vaporize, I think. So, as given the industry it's within at the moment, Virgin Galactic stands at the forefront of space tourism. A lot of people are buying tickets to go up there. It's wonderful to kind of go up to great height and see the Earth from where it is. Navigating the path filled with these potential awards obviously will come with risks from not developing their product properly. This is down with them. It's the company's progress in technology and the market penetration, which is commendable at the moment, but really needs to be pushed heavily by Virgin and its management team. The financial stability is horrific for this company. This is basically the highest risk company I would ever review on here when it comes to investment. It's one of those companies, like, you only need one civilian to pass away on any space vehicle and that company's done. Their safety has to be paramount, and hopefully they've got that. And I think, like I said at the beginning, I have a soft spot for this company because I like the technology. Doesn't mean you have to go away and do your own research and look at the pros and cons of what the company's doing, as well as take on board the financial difficulties and the global situation for everybody at the moment, and whether it's worth investing any of your money in it. So thank you for joining me as we've explored Virgin Galactic's journey. Hopefully we'll come back in another 18 months time, be able to look at this company and think, wow, it's done some miraculous things. So as I sign off, please remember the importance of thorough research and balanced analysis in making your investment decisions. This is your money after all. So join me next time for a more in-depth look at technology investments. We'll try to come up with something that is equally interesting for you as it is for me. So keep an eye on the stars,